Every year, participating in the liturgy for Good Friday always leaves me with more questions than answers. I often wondered, was there really no other way? Could we not be forgiven by God without the gory death of an innocent man? Why did Jesus have to die? What is good about Good Friday? And so on. And every year, a different answer, either excerpts from spiritual readings or some church teachings or scriptures, not only helped me to grapple with what had happened, but also to enter into the mystery of his Pasch. These are the scriptures that came to my mind today, and I hope that they would help you too. Psalm 138 verse 2 says that God honors his word above his name. In other words, if God says something, he shall not fail. He is not humans that he should lie. Compare also Numbers chapter 23 verse 19 and Isaiah 55 verse 11. So when God forewarned our first parents that if they sinned, they shall surely die, Genesis chapter 2 verse 17, he wasn't blowing smoke. Sin, except forgiven, kills the life of grace in the soul. Compare also Romans chapter 6 verse 23 and James chapter 1 verse 15. So Adam and Eve sinned and must surely die. Why were they spared? Why didn't they die? Proverbs 11 verse 21 says that you can be sure of this: no iniquity shall go unpunished. Some versions will say no wickedness, no sinfulness will go unpunished. Thus, God being merciful and just, though he punished them, he also showed them great mercy. They were not deserving of his mercy for violating or going against God's instruction at the prompting of a stranger, a serpent. But God accorded them divine love. To fulfill the demand of his justice, he killed an animal instead. So something else died in their stead. Hebrews chapter 9 verse 22 says that without the shedding of blood, there is no remission of sin. From the animal also, he made a covering of skins for Adam and Eve. Genesis chapter 3 verse 21. And by so doing, God instituted the sin offering to remedy the poison of sin. Leviticus chapter 4. In other words, whenever humans sinned, they were now to offer an animal in sacrifice for their atonement. Yet, animal sacrifice was an imperfect substitution because the soul of an animal could not adequately atone for the soul of a human. Not even can a human pay the ransom for his life or for the life of another. Psalm 49 verse 7. But God was willing to accept it for the time being. Only God can give humans power over death. Only God can stop humans from dying eternally. And to do that, he has to be one like us in all things. He cannot die as God. And he has to die because without the shedding of blood, there is no remission of sin. It has been a long journey from creation to human redemption and sanctification. Good Friday is good because we recognize the value of what Jesus did for us. He died for us. Indeed, greater love has no man than this, to lay down his life for his friends. John chapter 15 verse 13. The devil's plan to see the destruction of the human race failed today. Christ is our perfect substitution, kind for kind, and for all time. He is our way and power over death, not because of anything of ours, but because of his merits. God can look upon us as he did at creation and consider us very good again. Genesis chapter 1 verse 31, Romans chapter 13 verse 14, Galatians chapter 3 verse 27. By the sacraments of salvation, God has made a way for us yet again, not because we are no longer wretched sinners deserving of his justice, but because of who he is, the God of mercy and compassion. When we kiss the cross or sign ourselves with the sign of the cross, we do so in gratitude to God, who through the cross of Christ, the new tree, restored us to life, who live in obedience to his will. Little wonder the devil hates the cross so much, because it is the symbol of his cosmic defeat. In John's Gospel, Jesus dies with these words: "It is accomplished. It is done, finished." Yet in another sense, the wonderful saving work of Jesus is not completed until it is recognized, welcomed, and absorbed by each of his creatures. Let us therefore express our gratitude to God by sincerely seeking to bring our fellow human beings into the fold of the family of God. God bless you.